Hello, and you're watching the History Fella channel. In this video I'm going to do a book review, and that book is going to be The First Battle for Kesternich by George T. McKnight. The book comes in hardback and is published by Kesternich Publishing, and I'd like to thank Daniela Lipscomb for allowing me to read and review this book. In the vast library of World War II literature, it is rare to find a stone left unturned. Most historians are content to retread the well-worn paths of the beaches of Normandy or the snowy foxholes of Bastogne. However, George T. McKnight's The First Battle for Kesternich proves that there is still a visceral, strategically vital stories hidden in the margins of the Great Crusade. Released in early 2026, McKnight's work is a masterclass in microhistory, a granular moment-by-moment reconstruction of a three-day nightmare that nearly changed the course of the German winter counter-offensive. To understand why McKnight spent nearly 30 years researching the single German village, one must understand the geography. In December 1944, the Allies were eyeing the Ruhr River dams. These dams were effectively a weapon of mass destruction in German hands. If sabotaged, they could flood the valley below, drowning any Allied advance and isolating troops on the wrong side of the river. Kesternich was a lock on the door to those dams, as McKnight illustrates with the precision of his professional background in architecture. The village sat on a high ridge, offering the Germans a godlike view of the approaching force. For the 78th Lightning Infantry, a green unit that had never seen combat, Kesternich was their baptism of fire. It turned out to be a bloodbath. What sets McKnight's narrative apart from the standard military fare is his use of dual perspectives. Most Western histories rely heavily on American after-action reports, which can be sanitized or incomplete. McKnight, however, dives deep into untranslated German archival sources and foreign military studies. The result is a hauntingly balanced view of the conflict. We see the desperate, shivering GIs of the 309th and the 310th pushing through knee-deep snow and minefields, but we also see the Volks Grenadiers of the 272nd and the 326th Divisions. These were not the supermen of Nazi propaganda, but a mix of seasoned veterans and terrified teenagers, racing to stabilise the north shoulder of what would soon be known as the Battle of the Bulge. McKnight's writing is most effective when he describes the meat grinder of house-to-house fighting. Kesternich was not a place of grand manoeuvres, it was a place of basements, grenades and burp guns. The book meticulously details the first assault on December the 14th, where American tanks became bogged down in the mud and snow, leaving the infantry to face German pillboxes alone. McKnight doesn't shy away from the tragedy. The initial American success in entering the village was met with a brutal German counterattack that saw entire companies cut off and captured. You might ask why a battle over a tiny village in 1944 deserves a 400-page tome in 2026. The answer lies in McKnight's ability to connect the tactical to the strategic. He argues convincingly that the American failure and subsequent victory at Kesternich was not just a localized skirmish, it was a pivotal delay that threatened to unravel the German plans for the Ardennes offensive, before the first Tiger tank even rolled towards Bastogne. George T. McKnight has produced a definitive work that restores Kesternich to its rightful place in the history of the European theatre. Excuse me. While the density of the tactical detail might be a steep climb for casual readers, military history enthusiasts will find it an indispensable resource. The book is a somber reminder of the cost of small battles. By the time Kesternich finally fell in early 1945, the village was little more than a pile of rubble in a graveyard for hundreds of young men on both sides. McKnight honours their memory by ensuring that their struggle is no longer a mere footnote. That's The First Battle for Kesternich, written by George T. McKnight. It comes in hardback and is published by Casemate Publishing. And I'd like to thank Daniela Lipscomb for allowing me to read and review this book. I thank you very much for watching this video, and please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to the channel.